Hello, once again. My name is John Healy. My podcast is called It's Good to Talk. I published this book a year ago. And that's how it all started, by Tony McGurn, a series of stories about his life. Buy it on Amazon. My podcast is sponsored by Liffey Movers. I do freelance marketing for them and all that. My guest today, for the second time, is Tom Sanchez from the United Print Group. We did a podcast before. Check that one out to get the background to Tom and the United Print Group. Today, I want to borrow Tom's brains in the whole area of marketing and especially branding. Tom, talk to us.
You know, branding is critical, and it is the first step of starting a business for a lot of people. A lot of people start with a brand first and then put a company behind it. Branding's changed over the years. About 5-10 years ago, you saw a lot of brands go from very complicated, artwork-heavy design to very simple, easily replicable designs.
Mm-hmm.
Brands stay with us forever. You know, some of these brands stay with us forever and say so much more about the product. The way we call all tissues Kleenex, you know, is such a perfect example of branding.
Yeah, from my own background in Ireland, people know me, the Irish people know me, from my restaurant, Mother Hubbard's. I built it from foundation, designed it myself and all that, but I was very clear on branding. Like, it was called Mother Hubbard's because it came with the site that I bought. But I knew myself, which I had intended, to sell this brand and business down the road, I'm not going to put my name over the door and say John Healy's Restaurant. Oh no. Mother Hubbard's was branded on about 50 products, carried it into website, carried it into television, and carried it into radio. And I was the first in Ireland to put in wheelchair access before it was a requirement. And I campaigned that every new building had wheelchair access. So it tied in like a unique selling point. But the brand was key. I could be sitting in a bar in Dublin and I would hear people talking about Mother Hubbard's and they didn't know John Healy. And I wanted it that way. Until the taxman got my ass. Continue, Tom.
I thought that wasn't your name. I thought Mother Hubbard is what they called you in high school and back in Ireland. No. That's pretty fantastic, John. Because branding like Mother Hubbard's brings so many emotions, so many feelings that it does more than just let you know the name of the restaurant. You get warm and fuzzy just reading the name. That's
exactly
fantastic branding.
There's a photograph from my Irish friends. You see a little aerial photograph and.
Very nice.
A playground outside, and we had our own garden for our own produce. But getting back to the branding of Mother Hubbard's, definitely carried it strong all the way on baseball caps and T-shirts and the pins, of course, and all the basic stuff and all that. The time I did mugs, like mugs I bought from yourself, we hooked up with a baker called Pat the Baker, a bread supplier. We put Pat the Baker on one side and Mother Hubbard's on the other, and we shared the mug carry a brand.
Yeah, that's brilliant, John. That's brilliant. And to team up with someone local, now you've got two brands on there. They associate the brand. They know that they're going to get that bread at Mother Hubbard.
They grabbing the attention, as you said earlier on, is the important thing. And you said the brand lasts forever, and it does.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are mugs. This is going back, 20, 30 years ago. I'm sure there are mugs in bathrooms in Ireland with the handle missing, and now it's a shaving mug,
Yeah.
It still has the brand.
And I'll tell you something else about branding, John, and it sounds like you got ahead of the game when you created Mother Hubbard's. You had the vision to put your brand on these tangible products because that makes it more real. There's something about seeing the brand on an item that really brings it home and makes it real. And it sounds like you'd planned that from the beginning. So you didn't have the words Mother Hubbard written in crayon.
Everything.
And you were ready to print this on paper, put it on the internet, put it everywhere. And that's a critical component that a lot of people, when they're starting out, forget to do. Get those files.
Well, the critical part about it is, like, say, especially if you're looking to transfer, or we say sell on your product, sell on like the restaurant as I did. Like, my background is marketing. I don't do catering. For the first 3 months, I think when I worked in Mother Hubbard's as in-house, I just washed dishes to see how much food was coming back. And then I'd fire a chef until I got the right chef. And then less food came back. And then quality was up. because the quality is important. If you're going to put the brand on it, the product has to be perfect. Don't put the brand on if you're not ready yet with your product. Then put the brand on. Okay. What advice would you have for someone starting out, Tom?
So we were talking just moments ago about my advice for people starting out is simplicity is key. Simplicity is key. A lot of brands have these ideas of grandeur, and they bring in these artists and end up with a logo that might be visually confusing or might be easy to look at, but it's hard to replicate. It looks good on the web, but it doesn't look good on print. It might look good on a T-shirt, but it's not high resolution enough for the web or something like that. So my advice is to work with an artist, and simplicity is key.
That's brilliant advice, and I think I did that, and I thank you. If you look at this banner in the back, which your company made for me, by the way, but I did have my graphic design guy, James Tennyson from Sligo. I also did a podcast with him a few months back. He's getting married this week. Good luck, James.
Yeah.
Don't forget the creativity in branding. And you can see it looks well. If you look at the book and your banner, right?
Yep.
What do you notice? They're like exactly the same.
Yep.
Precisely the color, the icon of a pencil here, which is important for the book because it was written by a pencil, and all that. And then finally, if someone has a slogan, best advice is if you're going to make a slogan, try and get the name of your company into the slogan. Like say for Liffey, when it comes to moving, let Liffey do the lifting. So Liffey is in the slogan. Time magazine used to have a slogan, when people have no time to read, they must read Time magazine. And that was their slogan.
Yep, that's great. That's good news. That's reiterating the brand, and the consistency thing. The consistency piece you just mentioned is so critical. Our clients come to us because they want the red on their business card in New York to match the red on their business card in Beijing to match the red on their business card in London. So that consistency is so incredibly important.
Well, that's good. You and I obviously are very much on the same page. Pardon the pun. But sometimes, like when I was doing my own marketing and creativity and all that, like you feel sometimes you have to ask somebody else for help, and that somebody else is not on the same page as you, and then they would say something to you, "Oh, can I be the devil's advocate?" And I would say, "Go to fucking hell, okay?" For the devil's advocate. I don't need you to be the devil's advocate. I need support, I need encouragement, and creativity is contagious. If you're around the right people, you will get more ideas, as you well know.
That is true, and that's why we hang out, John. I think.
Well, there's a connection, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta figure out how to put United into my tagline, because right now I say your swag is in the bag, which I like because it's easy to remember and it's succinct. But putting United back into the taglines are real.
I'll be working on that one actually.
Yeah.
I like a challenge like that,
Yeah, exactly, and that challenge. Yeah.
Because after all, Tom, united we stand.
That's right.
Divided we fall. There's your tagline.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's good for a start. United we stand.
United we stand.
Let me see what else are we to do. I know tomorrow you have a B&I meeting. I know you're giving a speech tomorrow, your own speech and all that. I know I'm ordering products from you. Also, people that don't know our connection, I moved your company about 6 years ago. Well, Liffey did the lifting on that one because I don't do much lifting anymore because my back aches. That's why I have a personal trainer called Adam Corona and Cardona. And Adam, that's twice got your name wrong. So that's my personal trainer. But we moved to United Print Group, and that was then. And since then, we have traded products back and forth, especially the pins and the calendars and the banner and bookmarks and
I really like being able to do that for you, John, because it helps me keep my clients consistent too. Because I know it's not always what they're thinking about, but when you send me your logo and say put my phone number on it, you don't tell me which font to use. But I use the same font that's your logo, the same font on all your products to help you with your consistency.
Yeah. What we established today, I guess, to recap, is branding. If you get it right, brands last forever. Brands have been going back for centuries. When they were branding like cattle and ranchers and all that, branding was there. It builds trust and recognition, and get it, as you say, and keep consistent, with your product all the way. And the other thing is, like a company like United Print Group, a big part of the reason that we like your company, United Print Group, is you're here in New York. So we don't have to make 10 different sources or to buy a mug or buy a glass or buy a pen or buy a t-shirt or buy a cap or buy a postcard. So it's all under one roof.
When united, all the products united, perhaps?
That is the word, all the products united. And that saves a lot of time and money. And what you said earlier about the branding not being old school per se. Everybody's with technology and saying, okay. So I remember like reading one time about sublime advertising. That works for half a second, but only in a certain situation and only in a certain way and only for a certain audience, and then it's gone. But when you put my brand on a keychain or on a pin or on a shirt or on a tote bag, it's there for months and years maybe.
And in New York City, you carry a tote bag around, that's millions of impressions. I mean, tens of thousands of impressions a day just walking the streets of Manhattan with a tote bag.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I like that. Tom, have you anything to add? And how do people get in touch with United Print Group?
Find United Print Group, unitedpg.com. You can check out our favorite products on unitedtsc.com. That's TSC for the signature collection. And you can always give me a call, 718-392-4242. Let's just talk branding.
Talk about branding. And if they can't get you, to get me, because my name is John Healy. You know my book, and you know where to get me as well. And you know liffymoving.com. Check the reviews. It's always good to talk. Tom, united we stand, divided we fall. I'm going to say goodbye to you, okay?
Thanks so much, John. I'll talk to you soon.